Look at yourself. Every scar on you came from hesitation. Every loss started with softness. Every time you got betrayed, humiliated, overlooked, it wasn't fate. It was you. You saw the red flags. You felt the tension. You knew you were being disrespected. But you stayed. You smiled. You said, "It's fine." That version of you, the one that tolerates, forgives too fast, trusts too easily, he's the reason you keep bleeding. He's the reason people think they can waste your time, ignore your worth, use your kindness as currency. You don't need more motivation. You need a funeral. You need to bury the version of you that keeps giving second chances to people who don't deserve firsts. You need to kill the softness that keeps you stuck in cycles of almost winning. The world isn't cruel, it's just efficient. It eliminates the weak. It rewards the ones who decide, who draw the line and never step back. So this is it. No more lessons, no more pep talks. You either kill who you were or spend your life watching stronger men live the life that should have been yours. Let's be honest. The enemy you've been trying to conquer isn't out there. It's in the mirror. It's not your boss, your ex, your family, or your bad luck. It's the version of you that saw everything coming and did nothing. The version that kept saying, "Maybe next time." That kept trusting people who showed you their betrayal in advance. That kept making peace with situations that were designed to break you. That's the version that has to die. Because until you kill it, you will keep living the same year over and over, just dressed in different clothes, surrounded by different faces, repeating the same mistakes under new names. The truth is brutal. You were never unlucky. You were undisciplined. You were too patient with mediocrity, too tolerant with disrespect, too comfortable in suffering that was familiar. You called it being a good person. It wasn't goodness, it was weakness, wearing morality as perfume. You wanted to be noble, but nobility without boundaries is just self-destruction in disguise. You wanted peace, but peace without power is slavery. That's why your life doesn't change when you read motivational quotes or watch inspiring videos. Because the person who reads them is the same one who keeps breaking his own rules. And until that part dies, all the wisdom in the world is wasted on you. It's time to turn the knife inward, not in self-hate, but in self-respect. To dissect the parts of you that serve no purpose, but to keep you small. Look back at every betrayal that burned you. Notice the pattern. Before anyone ever failed you, you failed yourself. You saw the red flags, but you were addicted to potential. You saw the disrespect, but you were too afraid to walk away. You heard the lies, but you needed to believe them, because the truth would force you to act. And action, that's what you've been avoiding your entire life. Machiavelli said, "Men are driven by two forces, love and fear." You've been trying to lead your life with love, when the world only respects fear, not terror, but presence. That silent, grounded authority that makes people think twice before crossing you. But presence doesn't come from reading or talking about power. It comes from the death of the old self, the one addicted to being liked, the one desperate to be understood. You cannot build a throne on apologies. You cannot rise by trying to convince others you're good. You can only rise by making peace with being misunderstood. You want to know what betrayal really feels like? It's not when someone cheats on you or lies to you. It's when you realize you've been living below your own potential, knowing damn well you could have been more. That's the betrayal that eats you alive at night. So stop saying, "I'm working on myself." Stop saying, "I'll get there someday." There is no someday. There's only now. From this point forward, you need to be ruthless with your own patterns. Every time you say yes when your soul says no, Remember this moment. Every time you let someone waste your time, you're feeding the ghost of your old self. And that ghost doesn't deserve to live another day. You have to starve it through discipline, through silence, through restraint, through waking up earlier, moving with purpose, and removing anything that doesn't serve your direction. You have to make your past self uncomfortable. So uncomfortable that he dies begging for the old comfort you'll never give him again. That's what rebirth is. It's not mystical, it's mechanical. You destroy what's useless, and you rebuild from the ashes of clarity. Stop forgiving patterns that destroy your peace. Stop romanticizing the struggle. Stop being emotionally loyal to your own weakness. You don't need more empathy for yourself. You need accountability. You don't need more peace. You need standards. You don't need to feel better. You need to become better. Look around. The world is built by men who killed who they were. Men who turned their pain into power, their shame into discipline, their fear into strategy. You can do the same. But not until you stop defending the old version of yourself like it's worth saving. It's not. It's the reason you're stuck. So tonight, have the funeral. Quietly. No candles, no speeches. Just you, sitting with the truth you can't unhear anymore. Who you were is gone. Who you choose to become begins now. Power doesn't start with action. It starts with restraint. Everyone around you is loud, performing, oversharing, chasing attention like beggars at a feast. They want to be seen, heard, validated. But power doesn't need an audience. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't explain. It just exists. Heavy, silent, undeniable. Your silence should not be confused with weakness. It is preparation. It is your withdrawal from the noise where average people destroy their edge. The old version of you talked too much. He told people his goals, his feelings, his every move. Thinking honesty builds connection, but honesty without calculation builds vulnerability. Every word you speak is a breadcrumb someone can use against you later. The moment you explain yourself, you hand the world a map to your emotions. And once people can predict you, they can control you. Silence makes you unpredictable. It makes people question your thoughts, your motives, your limits. It turns mystery into armor. And in the game of power, armor matters more than empathy. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must learn how not to be good. What he meant was, you must learn when to hide your goodness, when to disguise your intentions in silence. Because good men who can't stay quiet become targets. Their openness invites exploitation. You want to stop being underestimated? Start withholding. Disappear from arguments that go nowhere. Withdraw from people who always demand explanations. Stop defending yourself to those who've already decided what they think of you. Let them talk. Let them guess. Let them invent stories about you. Because when people fill the silence with their own imagination, they always overestimate your power. That's the paradox of silence. It multiplies your presence. When you stop responding, your absence becomes louder than their noise. Your stillness becomes a statement. The person who speaks least always controls the conversation, because everyone else keeps reacting to what he might be thinking. And in that gap, between what they know and what they don't, lies dominance. When you're silent, people project onto you. They assume you're stronger, smarter, colder. They start measuring themselves against what you haven't said. They start trying to impress you, to prove something to you. And without moving a muscle, you've shifted the power dynamic in your favor. That's how leaders are made, not by noise, but by gravity. But silence is not just about not speaking, it's about not leaking. Stop explaining your plans. Stop announcing every new step. Move in stealth. Let your actions arrive without warning. You don't need to say, "I'm working on myself." Disappear for 6 months and return unrecognizable. Let your silence become your transformation. Because when you vanish from places that no longer feed your ambition, people notice. They wonder. They start whispering. That whisper is influence. The average man fears disappearance because he confuses being seen with being significant. But the Machiavellian man knows the opposite. He becomes most powerful in absence. You must understand something. Attention is not the same as respect. Attention can be bought. Respect must be earned through restraint. The world listens differently to those who speak less. Every word becomes weighted. Every silence becomes a test. That's how you reprogram your environment to treat you like authority, by teaching them that access to you is earned, not given. So stop being available to everyone. Stop replying instantly. Stop explaining your silence to those who didn't deserve your words in the first place. Your old self filled every silence out of insecurity. Your new self holds silence like a blade, sharp, deliberate, strategic. And when you return to the room, speak with finality. Speak like someone who already decided. Speak like silence trained you. When others shout, you calculate. When they gossip, you observe. When they chase relevance, you build longevity. The loud crave validation. The silent create consequence. Remember this. The most dangerous men in history weren't the ones who roared. They were the ones who watched, waited, and struck once. Clean, precise, and final. Disappear for a while. Let the noise forget your name. Then return. Not to prove anything, but to demonstrate everything. Because silence isn't retreat, it's reload. Emotion is the leash that keeps powerful men crawling. No chains, no prisons, just invisible threads made of guilt, attachment, and approval. That's how they control you. Not by strength, but by access. By knowing what gets under your skin. Detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being ruled by what you feel. It's not emotional death. It's emotional discipline. And without it, every achievement will eventually be held hostage by someone who knows how to pull your strings. Let's start with the truth. You've been conditioned to think loyalty means endurance. That if you care, you must stay. That walking away makes you heartless. That's the lie that's kept you stuck in one-sided loyalty. Giving everything, receiving crumbs, convincing yourself that pain equals purpose. It doesn't. It just means you're emotionally predictable. And predictable people are easy to control. Your emotions, anger, affection, desire, guilt, they are weapons. But in your old life, you handed them to everyone. You let people provoke you, distract you, guilt you into submission. You became emotionally bankrupt, spending energy where there was no return. That ends now. To detach is to reclaim your inner resources. It's the art of emotional minimalism. Speaking less, reacting less, caring selectively. It's the science of conservation. Every empire, every business, every personal kingdom collapses for one reason: emotional leakage. Someone gets too invested, too reactive, too dependent. The stronger they rise, the harder they fall. Not because of enemies, but because of attachments. Machiavelli said a ruler must learn to act against pity, against faith, against humanity when necessary. That doesn't mean cruelty. It means clarity, the ability to do what must be done, even when your emotions beg you not to. Detachment is not coldness, it's control. It's the ability to say no when every part of you wants to say yes. It's the discipline to walk away from familiar chaos, to choose peace over nostalgia. Here's the truth. Most people you call important are just habits in human form. You don't love them. You're addicted to their pattern. The constant push and pull, the chase for validation, the drama that makes you feel alive. You confuse stimulation for connection. To detach is to break that addiction, to observe your feelings without obeying them, to look at the person who triggers you and say, I see what you're doing, and I choose nothing. That's power. But detachment doesn't mean isolation. It means engagement on your terms. You still build connections, but now they serve your direction. You give warmth, but never dependence. You listen, but never absorb poison. You care, but never bleed for the ungrateful. The key is to manage your emotional economy like a banker. No withdrawals without equal deposits. Every argument, every favor, every apology costs energy. Start charging interest. People respect emotional distance. They might not like it, but they obey it. Because distance creates hierarchy, and hierarchy creates order. When people know your boundaries, they stop testing them. When they can't predict your reactions, they tread carefully. That's the silent dominance of detachment. You don't have to raise your voice or threaten anyone. Your control radiates from your restraint. When someone tries to manipulate you, pause. Don't explain. Don't defend. Just observe. Silence always outlasts chaos. The moment you stop reacting, the game ends, because manipulation feeds on engagement. You must train this like a muscle. Start small. Ignore provocation for 24 hours. Delay responses to emotional texts. Walk away from arguments where winning gains nothing. Each act of restraint forges armor around your focus. Soon, you'll find something extraordinary happens. You start to feel untouchable. Not because the world got kinder, but because you stopped being available for its nonsense. The old version of you reacted to everything. The new version watches, calculates, and strikes only when necessary. That's evolution. When impulse dies and strategy is born. Remember, detachment is not emptiness. It's clarity sharpened to a blade. It's how you protect your empire, your energy, and your mind from emotional parasites. In the end, every powerful person you admire mastered this art. They learned to appear human while operating like architects, moving through chaos untouched, controlled, deliberate. And so must you. If you want power, peace, and longevity, you must learn the Machiavellian truth. You can love deeply, care fiercely, and still walk away without hesitation. That's not cruelty. That's command. Detach or be dragged. After you kill who you were, you stand in silence, detached, harder, colder. But what's next? You can't live on defense forever. You can't just protect peace. You have to shape the battlefield. This is where strategy begins. The weak react. The strong anticipate. The powerful don't fight battles. They design them. Machiavelli didn't admire brute strength. He admired precision, the ability to read chaos and make it predictable. He understood that survival belongs not to the loudest, but to the one who moves first in the mind. Every empire begins in thought. Every downfall begins in impulse. And the difference between the two is strategy. So what does it mean to control the game? It means you stop playing by the rules given to you and start writing your own. In your old life, you responded. You waited for opportunities, advice, approval. You asked, what should I do? But strategy doesn't ask. Strategy observes. It studies motives, patterns, timing. It doesn't fight head-on, it corners. Let's break it down. Step 1, information. You can't control what you don't understand. Listen more than you speak. Watch what people repeat. Their habits are blueprints. Their weaknesses are entry points. Information is the true currency of power. It's how you predict moves before they're made. Step 2. Positioning. Most people waste energy fighting in the open. You build positions before you attack. A strategic man doesn't confront. He surrounds. He wins before the conflict starts. By controlling timing, access, and perception, he lets others believe they're in control, while every path they take leads to his design. Machiavelli wrote, "He who controls the environment controls the outcome." That's not just politics, it's life. If you control how people see you, you control how they treat you. If you control what information flows, you control what others believe is possible. Step 3. Patience. Every move that matters takes time. Impulsive people destroy themselves faster than enemies ever could. The art of delay is a weapon. Sometimes you win by waiting, by letting others reveal their motives, exhaust their resources, or sabotage themselves. Let them move first. When emotion makes them sloppy, strike with surgical precision. Step 4. Misdirection. Never reveal your full agenda. Let people see enough to feel safe, but never enough to predict your endgame. Appear weaker than you are when it serves you. Appear cooperative while you position yourself to dominate. Confuse those who expect aggression with calm. Confuse those who expect calm with fire. Strategy thrives on surprise. Your old self wanted fairness. Your new self understands control. Fairness is for equals. You are not here to be equal. You are here to construct advantage. In every situation, work, relationships, conflict, ask, who benefits from this? Who controls the timing? Who owns the narrative? The answer reveals the power structure. And if the answer isn't you, fix it. Build invisible systems that give you leverage, routines that make you sharper than others, habits that keep your energy rare, alliances that work silently in your favor. Every move you make should serve a long-term design, not just a temporary reaction. Understand this, the world is not chaos. It's a map. Most people just never learn to read it. Strategy turns chaos into clarity. It turns problems into pieces on a chessboard. And once you see life that way, emotion stops controlling you. You stop asking, why did this happen to me? You start asking, how can I use this? That's when you become untouchable. Not because you're invincible, but because you're always prepared. The strategist doesn't chase. He positions. He doesn't seek revenge. He waits for inevitability. He doesn't need validation. He already wrote the outcome before anyone else knew there was a game. And that's the Machiavellian truth of transformation. Once you master yourself, you must master the board. Once you silence emotion, you must command direction. Once you kill who you were, you must become the architect of everything that follows. The world isn't waiting to destroy you. It's waiting for you to finally realize you've been the designer all along. At some point, power stops being about dominance and starts being about identity. You no longer chase control. You are control. You no longer seek respect. You embody it. And that's when the final transformation begins. When everything you killed, everything you endured, and everything you built fuses into one truth. You are no longer becoming. You are. But here's the paradox of transformation. To be reborn completely, a part of you must die every day. The weak die once, by circumstance. The powerful die many times by choice. Each morning you bury hesitation. Each night you kill comfort. That's how kings stay sharp in empires built on decay. Your old self worships survival. Your new self commands evolution. Understand this. Survival is what the average man does when he's run out of purpose. He clocks in, scrolls, complains, waits, repeats. His story is over, but his body keeps walking. He's a ghost wearing a name tag. The Machiavellian man refuses that fate. He chooses a different death, one that burns, sharpens, and purifies. To die standing means to never kneel to fear again. It means when the world pushes, you don't retreat. You plant your feet deeper. It means when people abandon you, you don't beg. You recalibrate. It means when everything collapses, you don't cry. You rebuild. Faster, quieter, meaner. Because the final form of power isn't dominance over others. It's sovereignty over yourself. When no one can control your emotions, dictate your rhythm, or break your composure, you've reached a level that most men will never touch. Machiavelli said, "Men must either be caressed or annihilated. Apply that not to others, but to your own mind. Caress what strengthens you, discipline, vision, composure. Annihilate what weakens you, doubt, attachment, apology. That's the internal dictatorship you must establish. Rule your instincts like a tyrant rules his land." Here's what they don't tell you about rebirth. It's lonely. Power isolates you. Discipline distances you. You'll outgrow people who love the weaker version of you because your silence offends their chaos. They'll call you cold, arrogant, emotionless. Let them. They're describing the temperature of control. You don't need to explain your evolution. You don't need witnesses. You just need to keep walking. Through misunderstanding, through boredom, through envy. Because one day those same people will look at you and realize you didn't change. You evolved. You stopped bleeding for what wasn't yours to fix. You stopped proving yourself to people who couldn't keep up. You stopped apologizing for ambition. That's what kill who you were really means. It's not violence. It's clarity. It's not cruelty. It's consequence. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop explaining your standards. You stop waiting for rescue. And in that ruthless silence, the old world dies, and a new one forms under your command. To die standing is to accept that peace is not comfort, it's command. You sleep lightly, think deeply, move precisely. You don't beg for things, you position for them. You don't chase opportunity. You build gravity so strong it pulls it in. You become the calm in every storm, not because you're immune to chaos, but because you've mastered the architecture of it. People sense it. They defer without knowing why. They adjust their tone, lower their volume, second-guess their impulses. That's not intimidation. That's presence refined through pain. And yet the truly powerful never boast about it. They've seen too much to care about proving it. When you've rebuilt yourself from your own ashes, approval becomes irrelevant. Only legacy remains. So build one. Something that outlives applause. Something that doesn't die when you do. That's the final Machiavellian secret. Power is temporary, but structure is eternal. The man who dies standing leaves behind architecture, systems, order, memory. He doesn't live for validation. He lives for permanence. You can start today, not tomorrow, not next month. Right now, by refusing to kneel to the same weakness that ruined you before. You've already killed who you were. You've already burned through comfort, emotion, and noise. Now there's only one thing left to do. Stand and never fall again. Because power isn't about ruling others. It's about never surrendering yourself. Die standing and let the world remember who built their silence. There comes a moment after every transformation when you realize something strange. You no longer crave the noise you once lived for. You no longer care to prove, argue, or explain. You've gone too far, too deep. You've crossed the line between wanting power and becoming it. This is the quiet after war, the kind no one tells you about. You'll notice people start looking at you differently. Some will admire your focus. Others will call you cold. They won't understand that you didn't change to impress them. You changed because survival demanded it. The truth is, no one applauds transformation while it's happening. They only respect it when it's complete. When the distance between who you were and who you are becomes too wide to ignore. They'll whisper your name like a rumor, trying to decode what you did differently. But they won't find the answer, because the answer isn't in what you did. It's in what you killed. You killed the hesitation. You killed the apology. You killed the fear that made you ask for permission. And from that death, something immortal was born. Self-command. Now you walk through life differently. You don't chase, you attract. You don't explain, you execute. You don't argue, you decide. That's the true meaning of kill who you were. It's not about hatred, it's about ascension. You outgrew the identity that kept you ordinary. You stopped negotiating with your potential. You finally became what the world always warned you not to be, free. Freedom is not peace, it's responsibility. It means you stand alone, aware that no one's coming to save you. It means your wins and your losses are your own. It means every day you wake up with the weight of your choices and the strength to carry them. That's what separates the rulers from the ruled. Most people want liberation, but few can stomach the solitude that comes with it. Because the higher you climb, the quieter it gets, the colder it feels, the fewer people understand you. But that's the price of self-respect. The silence at the top isn't loneliness. It's the sound of peace. It's the reward for every night you fought yourself and won. So if you've made it here, if these words struck something inside you, understand this. The journey doesn't end with rebirth. It begins there. Because killing who you were isn't the finish line. It's the starting point of your empire. From here, you don't seek validation. You create structure. You don't react to life. You direct it. You don't fear endings. You use them as strategy. You've learned how to fall, vanish, detach, command, and build. Now it's time to live by those rules. Quietly, ruthlessly, deliberately. And when you do, when your silence begins to shake rooms, when your presence bends outcomes, when people feel your name before they hear it, that's when you'll know. The transformation is complete. You've killed who you were. Now the world answers to who you've become. If this message hit you, if you felt something shift, don't just move on, act on it. Because this isn't motivation, it's a warning. Stay soft, and the world will eat you. Sharpen yourself, and it will serve you. If you're ready to keep evolving, if you're ready to go further, subscribe to this channel. Join the movement of those who chose discipline over emotion, power over pity, and silence over noise. Because here, we don't chase greatness. We build it, piece by ruthless piece. Welcome to the next chapter. And remember, never mourn the old you. He had to die, so you could finally live.